Hello and thanks so much for joining us live for our comprehensive news package, which will be coming to you for the next 60 minutes. I am Bukola Agbakisu. On the news, Ogun State government to commence health insurance scheme in 2021. Nigeria Governors Forum disowns Kogi governor over claim on COVID-19. FARC shares 619.343 billion naira to 3 tiers of government in December. U.S. President Joe Biden signs 10 executive orders to tackle COVID-19. Success usually comes to those who are too busy to be looking for it.
And on sport news tonight, FIFA issues ban threat to players over European Super League. I'll be back to keep you abreast of more happenings in the world of sports. My name is Moses Odkerumi. Stay with us.
Let's begin with agriculture. Expanded broiler project to the 20 local government areas and expanded anchor borrowers program to feature cotton, oil, palm oil and cocoa, as well as aquaculture renovation will be the highlights of the agricultural sector in Ogun State in the year 2021. Commissioner for Agriculture, Dr. Adiola Odedino, stated this at the Budget 2021 Media Party. Governor's Office correspondent Tunde Olaniro reports that the education sector is being repositioned for better delivery of qualitative education to its young minds. His report.
Infrastructure development, social welfare and well-being, education, youth empowerment and agriculture are the pillars of the current administration in Ogun State. While addressing journalists and editors from across the country virtually, Commissioner for Agriculture and his counterparts in the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, Youth and Sports, as well as Chairman of Ogun State Internal Revenue Service, reeled out plans for 2021.
Total revenue that will be required for the 2021 budget is 339 billion, thereabout, and 119 billion is going to come from the internally generated sources. And out of the 119 billion that we are talking about, the Internal Revenue Service alone, that's the Ogun State Internal Revenue Service, is expected to deliver 75 billion naira.
Of course, to ensure full accreditation of all programs in the 9 public tertiary institutions and the 8 government colleges, government science and technical colleges.
But in the area of job creation, we have planned to expand the Anchor Borrower program to take in more participants. When we came in as government years ago, 50,000 people registered. As at now, we have about 80,000 registrations.
The budget will afford the people of the state the opportunity of enjoying the dividends of democracy.
We actually have what we call the Ogun State Education Revitalization Agenda, which is anchored on 6 pillars of the curriculum design, school management, revenue and funding, and also on technology integration, infrastructure, and teacher and student welfare.
The good news is that we have budgetary provision to extend the broiler project to all the 20 local government areas and the state. We also want to move into anchor borrower for cotton, oil palm, and cocoa in 2021. And the government already allocated 10,000 hectares of land for cotton farmer.
What we plan to deliver in 2021. And for us to really deliver the step jump that we are looking forward to achieve, a lot of the things we are going to do is going to ride on the back of automation and digitization. And the key area where we are looking at in terms of the lines or the revenue lines that we are looking more closely into is going to come largely from payee and what we also call back duty, which is tax audit.
The media parley featured all journalists representing all print and broadcast media in the country, as well as their business editors. Tunde Olaniro, Ogtv News.
On health, Basic Healthcare Provision Fund and the Healthcare Insurance Scheme of Ogun State Government will commence in the year 2021, which will help to further make qualitative healthcare delivery available to the people and further reduce the infant and maternal mortality rate in the state by 25%. The Commissioner for Health, Dr. Tomi Kuka, stated this during the Budget 2021 media party held virtually. Governor's Office correspondent Tunde Olaniran once again reported that Commissioner for Works and Infrastructure disclosed that the completion of ongoing projects embarked upon by the current administration is a top priority, assuring that road projects will be evenly distributed across the 3 senatorial districts.
The 2021 budget in Ogun State is tagged Budget of Recovery and Sustainability. The current administration in the state deemed it fit to intimate the public with a breakdown of the budget, hence the media parley.
And the objective, like I said, is to allow the public to have a detailed breakdown of what the budget for 2021 in Ogun State looks like. This particular ambition is anchored on 4 key economic goals. The first one, of course, is the real sector growth. We want to achieve real sector growth that is domesticated in the state. The second one, of course, is job creation.
And the capital is 172 billion, while the recurrent is 167 billion. A large chunk there is internally generated revenue, which is higher than the projection for last year.
The budget size for 2021 is 338.6 billion, with 49% as recurrent expenditure and capital expenditure takes 51%.
It is very, very critical that if we're very serious about achieving these economic objectives, government must definitely provide adequate security for safety of human lives and properties, and therefore encouraging investors and even the citizens to be able to carry on their business.
IGR as a percentage of total revenue is 37%, and our federal transfers as a percentage of total revenue is 18%.
Commissioner for Works and Infrastructure, Health and Housing gave the details of the budget of their various ministries.
We probably, some of the key projects we are looking at this year is the Aton Lusada Agbara. That's a key economic engine area for the state. So that's going to get going. We are going to complete Ijebu-Ode Epe before end of May. So that's something we are pushing aggressively also.
The ultimate vision of His Excellency is to provide affordable, accessible and quality healthcare to every citizen of Ogun State. And the goal for us is by the year 2023 to have reduced the maternal and infant mortality by 25% and also to prolong the life expectancy from the age of 53 that it is at the moment.
After which we commenced construction of housing estates in 9 different locations of the state. We started with Prince Court Housing Estate Phase 2, the Kobakwe, Laderin, Shagamu, Ijebu-Ode, Ota, Ilaro, and Ikperu. As we speak, construction works are going on in different locations.
The current administration aimed to improve real sector growth, job creation, and poverty alleviation.
The implementation of the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund and the Ogun State Health Insurance Scheme. The Basic Healthcare Provision Fund involves the enrollment of the vulnerable, pregnant women, and children 0 to 5 to receive free health care across all 20 LGAs. We've started the enrollment as of last week, and we'll be enrolling 1,000 individuals in each local government in the first instance. When we finish that, we'll go back and do a second round.
We are looking at more than 60 different roles. But as I've said, each of the local government we've identified one that we are working with, so each of the local government will get one, at least a minimum of one road. His Excellency has approved that we start the Erunwon Aton project, the Shagamu Odelemo project, another one in Ipo.
Projection is that the Kobakwe housing scheme, which will be a model housing scheme in the state, will have 300 units. The Prince Court Estate Phase 2 will have 150 units. That is ongoing as we speak. Shagamu housing scheme have 100 units ongoing. Ijebu Ode Itanri also have 100 units as we speak. So we propose to complete this by May 2021.
The policy thrust of the current administration is to reform government institutions, fiscal policy thrust, and private sector participation. Tunde Olaniro, Ogtv News.
Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun has promised to support, promote, and cater for the welfare of persons living with disabilities in order to make life meaningful as well as make them relevant in society. Represented by his deputy, Engineer Noimot Salako Ojedele, at the commemoration of the International Day of Persons Living with Disabilities at the Arcade Ground, Okimoson, Abeokuta, Prince Abiodun said the welfare of people with disabilities is one of the major concerns of the present administration. He said disability could happen to anyone. Therefore, best facilities should be made available for them in order to make life worth living.
We'll continue to make sure that we fulfill these pledges to our people, and in any cases where we may miss out things, I can be sure that you will let the Honorable Commissioner know, and that the government can do its best to support people like as we have planned. For the 2020 year, the theme is very pertinent to the issue of COVID, which is what is most germane across the world right now. The theme is building back better towards an inclusive, accessible, and sustainable post-COVID-19 world by, for, and with persons with disabilities.
In her address, the commissioner in the ministry, Mrs. Fumi Efuwakbe, said the celebration of the day was to promote full and equal participation of persons with disabilities in every aspect of political, socio-economic, and cultural life. She further noted that the theme for this year's celebration, Building Back Better Towards a Disability Inclusive, Accessible, and Sustainable Post-COVID-19 World, had been carefully selected to emphasize on the importance of strengthening the collective efforts for universal access to essential services, as it also reflects a growing understanding that disability is part of human condition. In the separate goodwill messages, the chairman, Disability Clusters, Olushola Phillips, Olutomi Adeosun, Michael Ndidi, and Mrs. Kemi Ojebola appreciated the present administration for remembering them, calling on government to come to their aid on the issue of employment into the civil service, treatment of some of their members who were on physiotherapy treatment, not forgetting the difficulties faced by some of the members while using major roads. Some of the items given were 12 wheelchairs, 15 white canes and crutches, 5 chest freezers, and food items. The current administration in Ogun State is a media-friendly government that is ever ready to do everything humanly possible to support the state television, Ogtv, towards competing favorably with other notable TV stations in Nigeria and in the west coast of Africa. The State Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Alhaji Waheed Odushile, dropped this hint during the 2020 Ogtv Annual General Meeting and End of the Year Get-Together held at the Broadcasting House, Ajibo Road, Abeokuta. Benga Adekoya reports.
The annual Ogtv General Meeting and End of the Year Get-Together for the year 2020 took a new dimension as Longest Service Award was introduced, with 5 outstanding longest serving staff who joined the services of the People's Tele in the year 1989, getting the reward for loyalty and dedication to duty. They are Mrs. Dayo Lennox-Taylor from the Finance Department, Joseph Adeboye from the News and Current Affairs Division, Bayo Tawoshe from the Programs Directorate, Karim Oke, Engineering Department, and the current General Manager of the station, Mr. Festus Kennedy, the General Manager, Ogun State Television, Ogtv, Mr. Festus Kennedy, gave glory to God for scaling through the year 2020, despite the lockdown, as the station was able to design COVID-19 friendly program to generate more revenue, while thanking the state government, the board members, and governor for their support throughout the year.
Last year, also in spite of the problem, the Excellency Abiodun, finally, after so many years of asking, even the previous government, he gave us a day pause.
The chairman board of director Ogtv, Comrade Tunde Oladunjoye, while congratulating the awardees, said staff welfareism is the most paramount in the heart of the present board.
We need to really motivate our staff and also be realistic with what the market trend is. I want to commend the management for putting this together. I want to say that it's not going to be a waste because people have been motivated, people have been encouraged, and other people are going to be inspired.
The State Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Alhaji Waheed Odushule, charged the awardees to see it as a clarion call for them to do more.
So when I say public, I'm just talking about it's not about us and them. The government is part of the society. So we are serving the society. It's also the other to serve the government. What is left for you as professionals is how to balance and manage both demands. As a government, also look at what demand do, and the society also wants to do their own demands on it.
Some outstanding members of staff who have done creditably well in the outgone year were also recognized from the Administrative Directorate, the News and Current Affairs Division, Program Directorate, Engineering Department, Marketing and Finance Departments. The jointly shared General Manager Award goes to Mr. Tunde Olaniran of the News and Current Affairs Division and Adesoji Bangboye of the Engineering Department, while Mr. Biodun Alabi received the Board Chairman's Award.
The management of the station led by Professor Kennedy for the uniqueness of this year's award. This is one big award that I wasn't really expecting, and I'm sure other people too that got awards today were not really expecting. This is something I'm going to hand.
The meeting provided an opportunity for members of staff to rub minds with the management staff on the way forward after assessing the previous year. Benga Adekoya, Ogtv News.
And still to come in the news, Nigeria Governors Forum disowns Kogi Governor over claim on COVID-19. More news after the break. Glad to know that you're still there. The news continues. As the government intensifies efforts to double the capacity of Ogun State in providing the people of Abeokuta with potable water, the people have been asked to be patient with the government. Special advisor to the Ogun State Governor on water supply, Engineer Kunle Otun, gave this assurance while inspecting the repair work being carried out on the Ogun State Water Corporation Dam in Ogun River, Abeokuta. Matthew Sheumi completes the report.
It is a case of a stitch in time, says Nile, here in Ogun State Water Corporation Dam, as the government embarks on major rehabilitation work to ensure the dam is safe from imminent total collapse.
The issue of lack of access to the government water supply has been a major source of concern to the people of Abeokuta in recent times, with many demanding to know the reason for the hardship being faced to get potable water. They have had to endure the hardship of going far distance to get this essential item and take care of their immediate needs. This visit by a delegation from the Ogun State Water Corporation, led by the Special Advisor to the Governor on Water Supply, Engineer Kunle Otun, to the major rehabilitation work being carried out by the Ogun State government on the river Ogun Dam, which is a collection point of the water being supplied to the people of Abeokuta, is to provide answers to some of these questions being asked by the people.
With the population that we have now and the kind of water infrastructure that we have, we need to match the two. We have very huge population, but our water infrastructure could not support it. So we need to go down to the trenches and ensure that we're able to do that. In doing so, we made a dam that will not retain enough water. So we need to, first of all, focus on that. And the good thing is that we have a contractor that has the capability to be able to do that. The plan that we have for our water infrastructure in Ogun State now, here in Abeokuta, is that we are moving from 82 million liters per day to 162. For us to be able to do that, we need enough volume of water. And that can only be retained if we are able to replace all of the dam gates. We have 5 dam gates. All the 5 are bad.
Engineer Otun said the government is out to reposition water supply in the state by doing a total overhauling of the water system to serve the need of the generality of the people, as he appealed to the people to play their role by paying their water bill promptly.
Government has put money to rehabilitate the dam. Government is putting money to ensure that the treatment plant is expanded. The government is putting money to make sure that we put this reticulation to all our homes. Having done that, for just the treatment of this water to take place is a going concern. We will need our people to support us by paying the water rate.
General Manager of Ogun State Water Corporation, Mr. Oluseye Maku, said the repair work is long overdue and enjoins the people to endure the pains they will have to go through now as the government carries out the repair work.
This dam was commissioned in 1962, and it's a steel gate dam, and over the years it has actually corroded, so we have lost the function that the dam was supposed to do. And people may not know in town, but during this dry season, the impact is much. There is not enough water for us to treat at the treatment plant. And I think we lost one in 2011, and another one we lost in 2015.
They are sure that water will get to every home within the city upon the completion of the major work being carried out by the government. Matthew Shomi, Ogtv News.
Following the recent ban of waste cart pushers to tackle insecurity in the state, the Ogun State Waste Management Authority has promised not to scrap the activities but reinstate them to waste private service providers in line with the state government's policy towards eradicating unemployment among teeming youth. The Special Advisor to the Governor on Environment, Ola Oresoya, who was represented by the Director Operations Ogwama, Akimbode Shufela, made this known while addressing the concerned stakeholders in the state. Adibola Oshomoje reports.
And what are the issues? The issue is on our cart pushers. We are facing out cart pushers in the state.
The Ogun State Waste Management Authority, Ogwama, has held a meeting with the cart pusher leaders, community leaders and critical stakeholders in Abeokuta and Moweba for areas of the state pertaining to the recent ban of the cart pushers in the state. According to the Special Advisor to the Governor on Environment, Ola Oresoya, who was represented by the Director Operations, Ogwama, Akimbode Shofela, the ban on the cart pushers is a blessing in disguise, as the state government is set to link them up with the waste private service providers across the state.
It is what they have known, it is what they have been doing. But now in the modernized way, we want them to feel among. We want them to be part of us. We don't want them as if they are the one embarrassing the state. They are the one giving us bad faces in the state. when we give them this work, introduce them to our PS operators to work with them. Because we don't want to stop them from doing what they are doing and constitute another nuisance outside there. We plan this for them. Also, the state government is having 20 in all the states, all the local government in the state, community recycling centers. Some of them can be introduced to these community centers, and we call them community recyclers.
Participants promised to work in harmony with the authority in eradicating illegal dump sites towards maintaining serene environment.
We as a community, we are willing to, in fact, we are willing to partner with Ogoma and Ogun State government in ensuring that, number one, like I've told you, cat pushers does not exist in our community.
It was also ascertained at the meeting that the new waste management economic programs initiated by the state government in waste reduction and recycling will provide employment opportunity for youths and women across the state. Adebola Oshomoji, Ogtv News.
Now from Abuja, President Muhammadu Buhari has made a case for Nigerians to see the payment of taxes as a solemn and patriotic obligation, saying that no nation has ever made progress without having to pay for it. Declaring open the first national tax dialogue, the president also insists that foreign businesses must not be allowed to continue exploiting the nation's markets and economy without paying appropriate taxes. The first national tax dialogue with the theme, Taxation in the Post-COVID-19 Economy, is a deliberate attempt by the federal government at getting insights and wisdom from a broad spectrum of society on how best to improve Nigeria's revenue receipt for sustainable growth and development.
There is so much to look forward to in the coming years. The FRS is starting this decade with the resolve to leapfrog tax administration into the digital age. We are banking on your continuous support as we embark on this wondrous journey.
2021 is a year of recovery, a year that we will be recovering from the recession, and a year that taxpayers, both businesses and individuals, will be stepping back to the path of growth.
We are starting to see a diversification of revenues, tracking the economic diversification objective of the APC government. The African Development Bank is ready to provide needed technical and institutional support to Federal Inland Revenue Service and to Nigeria to build up its capacity for tax administration.
In his virtual address to participants, President Muhammadu Buhari made it clear that his administration is not seeking to increase the tax burden on Nigerians, but to block existing loopholes and ensure equitable application of the laws.
Clearly demonstrated by the provision of the Finance Act 2019, whereby government exempted small companies from tax and reduced the income tax rate for medium companies from 30% to 20%. We went further to cushion the burden of tax on the low-wage workers by exempting minimum wage from personal income tax.
The president, however, said with the devastating effects of the COVID-19 on the economy, a debt profile of more than 32 trillion naira, as well as tax GDP ratio of about 6%, Nigeria has no alternative than to do whatever it takes towards achieving optional tax revenue generation potential.
That our citizens and local businesses pay their fair share of taxes. Equally, foreign businesses must also not be allowed to continue to exploit our markets and economy without paying appropriate taxes. The Federal Inland Revenue Service has my mandate to speedily put all measures in place to fully implement programs to stamp out base erosion and profit shifting in all their ramifications and generally automate its tax processes. It is therefore incumbent to do all that is required in order to efficiently collect tax revenue due from transactions carried out using local and foreign online platforms.
President Buhari directed all government agencies and business enterprises to grant the Federal Inland Revenue Service access to all the assistance and seamless connection and the deployment of technology for automation. He, however, said this must be done in line with international best practices. The Nigeria Governors Forum said Nigerians should look forward to the end of February 2020 for the possibility of accessing any form of inoculation against the ravaging coronavirus. The nation's 36 governors at a virtual meeting on Wednesday said the country was working with the World Bank to ensure the supply of existing vaccines in the country. The NGF, in a communique on Thursday, said its chairman, Kayode Fayemi, briefed members at a meeting with Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, chair of the board of the Global Alliance for Vaccines and Immunization, on the rollout of the vaccines. Nigeria is among 12 countries in Africa that have indicated readiness of the 92 qualified countries for the facility and will, by the end of February 2021, receive its first shipment of vaccines. Meanwhile, members of the Nigeria Governors Forum, NGF, have dissociated themselves from the reported claim by Kogi Governor Yahaya Bello that coronavirus vaccines are meant to kill. The NGF, in a communique at the end of its virtual meeting on Wednesday, said on the ill-fated pronouncement made by a member of the forum regarding the COVID-19 vaccine in a national daily, the forum totally and categorically dissociated itself from the statement. The NGF said it will continue to be informed and guided by science and will ensure that every decision it takes retains public and professional trust and is not compromised by conflict of interest. African countries will pay between $10 and $13 per vaccine dose to access 270 million COVID-19 shots secured this month by the African Union, AU, according to a draft briefing on the plan prepared by the African Export-Import Bank and provided to Reuters. Nigeria, Africa's most populous nation, will be required to pay roughly $283 million if it takes its full allocation of 42 million doses. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, who serves as the AU chair, said last week arrangements had been made with the bank to support member states who want access to vaccines. Countries can pay back the loans in instrumentals over 5 to 7 years, the document showed. The N-Power beneficiaries who have concluded the 2-year job program will now be able to access permanent job opportunities or business prospects, the federal government has declared. This is part of the newly activated N-Power exit strategy. The initiative is for batches A and B of the N-Power program. Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadiya Farouk, gave the update on Wednesday. She spoke at the 4th annual review of the homegrown school feeding program. Under the plan, 200,000 beneficiaries will be engaged as financial services operators under the Shared Agent Network Expansion Facility, SANEF. Plans have been concluded for this transition of the N-Power batches A and B through the creation of the Nexit portal, which will allow those who choose to sign up to access other government empowerment opportunities. A beneficiary management system for the NCIPS is expected to be deployed in 2021. It would have the capacity to manage payments, address grievances, and improve dissemination of information, so that another 30,000 beneficiaries have been engaged as geospatial experts and enumerators in the Economic Sustainability Plan's Mass Agric program. Others will have the option of benefiting from the Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program, GEEP microenterprise loans. The number of out-of-school children in the country, which stood at 10.1 million in 2019, reduced drastically in Abuja at the annual ministerial press briefing on ministry's activities in 2020, attributed the development to the number of men to ensure enrollment of children. According to him, the sum of $611 million secured through the World Bank Credit Facility to support universal basic education recorded a massive enrollment of out-of-school children in 17 states. Adamu, who also disclosed that efforts of the National Association of Proprietors and School Owners of Nigeria, NAPSIN, alone sought the enrollment of 1 million children, also noted that 900,000 Nigerians were taken off the shelf of adult illiterates in 2020. The minister said more out-of-school children will be enrolled in school in 2021, adding that $500 million loan was secured from World Bank Credit Facility to drive the Adolescent Girls Initiative for Learning and Empowerment Agile program to ensure girls were taken off the streets, trained and empowered to live normal and quality lives. Speaking on government's efforts at ensuring academic stability in the nation's universities, Adamu, who said the federal government through the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TET Fund, committed about 400 billion naira to the development of infrastructure in tertiary institutions across the country. Berated Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, and other associations within the university system for not reciprocating our investments in education. According to him, the said amount was different from the 1.3 trillion naira the present administration spent on capital expenditure in the nation's tertiary institutions. A former Nigerian president, Goodluck Jonathan, has said that restructuring alone cannot solve Nigeria's problems and cannot be done in isolation. The former president called for the issues of nepotism, ethnic and religious bias to be addressed. He stated this on Thursday while speaking at a dialogue on restructuring in Abuja. He noted that Nigerians must restructure their minds because the issue at the national level still exists at the state and local levels. The immediate past President General of Ohaneze Ndigbo, John Nwodo, while delivering his speech, said that Nigeria must restructure before 2023 general elections. A London-based philanthropist and president of Gbenga Akinwande Foundation, Engineer Gbenga Akinwande, has donated a motorcycle to the National Population Commission, Egbado Yewa North Local Government Area of Ogun State, for operational and logistics purposes. In a statement signed by Engineer Akinwande, the gesture was a direct response to an appeal by the Commission as the deplorable state of the roads has rendered some community clearly inaccessible, thereby hampering the smooth operation of the vital agency of government. While delivering the motorcycle to the Commission, he acknowledged the dilapidated state of the roads and affirmed that they leave much to be desired, hence the intervention at this crucial time of completing national assignments. He, however, charged the Commission to ensure that the ongoing enumeration area demarcation EAD is done effectively and adequately within the local government area to achieve the overall goals and justify the support rendered by the foundation. At the presentation of the motorcycle to the National Population Commission, with the Vice Chairman of Yewa North Local Government, Elder Benjamin Adebiyi, the Iyaloja of Yewa Land, Elijah Yemisi Abbas, the representative of Alaye of Ayetoro, Chief Kola Onifade Ashiwaju of Ayetoro, bailies and some community leaders who all commended the donor for the kind gesture. On the business news segment, FAC shares 619.343 billion naira in December 2020 to 3 tiers of government. Details of these and others when I return from the break. Thanks for joining us on the business news segment of the news. Federation Account Allocation Committee, FAC, at a virtual meeting on Wednesday, shared a total sum of 619.343 billion naira as allocation to the 3 tiers of government for December 2020. A statement from the Federal Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning disclosed that of the amount, inclusive of cost of collection to NCS, DPR, and FIRS. The federal government received 218.297 billion naira. The states received 178.280 billion naira. The local government councils got 131.792 billion naira, while the oil-producing states received 31.827 billion naira as derivation, that is 13% of mineral revenue, and cost of collection, transfer and refund got 59.147 billion naira. The communique issued by the Federation Account Allocation Committee at the end of the meeting indicated that the gross revenue available from the value added tax VAT for December 2020 was 171.358 billion naira as against 158.785 billion naira distributed in the preceding month of November 2020, resulting in an increase of 14.575 billion naira. The distribution is as follows. The federal government got 23.904 billion naira. The states received 79.682 billion naira. Local government councils got 55.777 billion naira, while cost of collection, FRS and NCS got 6.854 billion naira, and allocation to NEDC projects received 5.141 billion naira. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, has reported its 3 refineries incurred 5.92 billion naira expenses in September 2020 at zero production level. According to its September 2020 financial and operations report, the zero production record was due to ongoing rehabilitation of the refineries. The NNPC said in September 2020, the 3 refineries processed no crude and combined yield efficiency is 0.00%, owing largely to ongoing rehabilitation works in the refineries. On refineries economics for the period September 2020, the data recalled that the corporation has been adopting a merchant plant refineries business model since January 2017. The model, said NNPC, takes cognizance of the product's worth and crude cost. Nigeria recorded foreign direct investment totaling $90 million in October, according to figures obtained from the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN. The CBN disclosed in its monthly economic report that in its review period, capital inflow declined by 71.4% due to tight global financial conditions as countries, particularly the developed economies, struggled with the second wave of the COVID-19 pandemic. According to the report, capital importation by nature of investment was dominated by portfolio investment, which accounted for 41.5%, followed by production and manufacturing 16.3%, financing 13.4%, trading 9.6%, and agriculture 8%. Next on our lineup is The World Today with Margaret Okunlola.